Hi and welcome back to the probably last episode of my solo playthrough of Galactic Era, designed by Jenning Jones. One minor clarification though is around the scoring for this last era here, the last era of light. In the last video I mentioned that it's all about spirituality, but that's not the case. It's for spirituality and propulsion. I don't know why these two technologies are so intertwined. Maybe there is something in this background book here. Maybe I really should give a more thorough read of this. But again, ultimately, it doesn't really matter if I go for spirituality or for propulsion. So in this case, there is indeed an incentive going for propulsion instead. Maybe because there is more... Maybe there is more of a chance that I can win this here. Here I'm at 0, but I think we are all at 0 for spirituality. For propulsion, no, I think propulsion is even worse because the slavers are already on level 3. So I don't think I will stand a chance there. I mean, a tie would count, but again, if I go for propulsion, they will go for propulsion. Again, I have to choose before I know their die result. I think there is more chance that I can beat this with spirituality. Yeah. Let's stay on target for that. Just wanted to let you know. Apart from that, I think I didn't really code a lot of things during my editing, but again, there could be stuff that I have messed up in my last episode. But again, I'm relatively certain that Channing will chime in, and then I will have to leave some Klingon subtitles somewhere. But I think ultimately I should be in an at least okay shape. With that being said, we are starting our penultimate round of the game. Again, the genetic farmers are the starting players, so there was not a lot of change in that. They didn't really research stuff because they decided to bring out another ship down here. So let's roll for their movement. And in this case, that's the 6. And for movement says, oh wow, that's a new result. No movement unless in a hex with hostile ships, then the ship moves to the nearest hex without these, which kind of makes sense. So no movement there, which could be okay actually. And then it's us. And I'm somewhat tempted to continue to move with this ship here. So I will move this ship, I don't know, 1, 2 spaces up here. We will reveal what it's there. So we are getting more. I think this is propulsion, right? Okay, not too bad. How bad. And that's a pre-warp civilization, basically. So we can't really take this planet over. That's a bummer. The main question though still is, what are we going to do here? I think we have a ship fleet with 14 ships exactly. And here we have 17 ships. And it's also a fleet, so we don't know what it is. My military rating is at 3, which means each of my ships counts for 3. The slavers are still at 1 per ship, so I will definitely outgun them. The problem still is though, will I have enough to outgun them 3 to 1, so we're not taking any casualties whatsoever? I think I have to exchange this to an assault fleet, and I can do that. So I think we are multiplying this now by 4, because this is another multiplier here. So I think that's 56, and the 17 here are 51, right? If we would triple that. That's what I'm getting at, sorry. So the minimum would be 51. Here's now really the main question though. The rules clearly say that they are only forming their fleets together at the start of their movement, which is now, I think, they will still fight with them, but I think this is the only fleet we need to worry about. So I think they are not automatically moving in there. A normal player, I think, wouldn't ever do that. So maybe I will also, but yeah, the rules are very specific here, right? Exactly. At the start of their turn, the slavers transfer all their ships into a single fleet for every hex where they already have a fleet. So I think in this case, these 10 are not part of the fleet yet. So I think it's only 7 in this fleet. So whatever this is, this might really help us. It feels a little bit like cheating, and maybe I will really goof this up now. But I will now follow the rules as written, actually. I mean, yeah, let's do that. It's a learning exercise. And again, if I play that incorrectly, I will definitely leave a comment here. So I think in this case, we are totally moving the ship up here. Right, so we are initiating a combat in a moment. Oh, but I think, no, we still do have another fleet down here. Right now that's a dart fleet of 5, and they could move up to, I think, 6 bases actually. So it's a +2 in total, and my movement is still 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. We could make it to this planet with our next go, but I still feel like we should leave something in here just to make sure. If something comes out, we need some forces, and 4 ships are still 4 ships, right? Or 5 ships even. That's still not nothing. So yeah, let's end it here. Let's move into my combat phase. Let's reveal this fleet, and it's the assault fleet. Okay, so these ships also count +1 actually. So that's 14 points worth of damage. 24 points worth of damage, right? Because again, we already have made the judgment call that, yeah, this is basically, and I think I should be allowed to peek actually when I moved in here. Okay, that's so nice. Oh, I want this world. This could help me in so many ways actually. Okay, again, that's 14 because it's doubled basically, +10, 24. Yeah, but I think this is not enough actually. I think this is not enough for a 3-to-1 because I would have needed 72 fighting points, and we only had 56 or so. So that's not 3-to-1. Well, that was a bummer. On the other hand, if all these 17 ships, yeah, but I still would have outgunned them no matter what. I mean, that's what goes without saying. But I didn't reach the 3-to-1. I think that's the main problem here anyway. So I get to choose how many ships am I going to destroy. And right now I'm really tempted to simply just destroy this fleet here, the attack fleet, because then I do know this is not an attack fleet or an assault fleet. With 7 I would need to remove 4 of my ships for that. So maybe I will simply destroy 8 ships then. Yeah, let's do that. So this, and we are also, I need 4 somewhere and 1 more ship here, because again it's still half anyway. So we have taken care of this. They have to retreat now in a second, and again I need to get rid of 4 of my ships. So we are down to only 10, but it's still an assault fleet. I think it was still worth it. And then we have to roll for their escape. So they have to do a retreat, and I think they all retreat into the same sector basically. So I think it's one, we are starting here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're moving out here. I think, let me replay. Oh no, I think I can't. So we are placing a 9 ship group in here. It's not a fleet yet. Keep in mind, I think we are cleaning up a little bit, and I'm pretty sure they will, and yeah, they will activate as a group anyway. So I think that's totally fair. And now we can take over this planet as part of our growth actions. The problem still is, it's the slavers next actually. So we have to roll for their movement. But wait, I just noticed something. No, they can't, I think. Yeah, they can. Oh, okay. Sorry, I have to, let's circle back a little bit. Apologies for that. They could have run away because their propulsion is higher than our propulsion, and they will do so on a roll of 1, 2, 3. So let's roll the die, and yes, they would have run away, which in this case which makes perfect sense actually. Okay, that changes a lot. We will leave the result for the runaway like it is, but the problem is now they are coming for us. Okay, think that 17 ships in total, and they had the fleet out there. Here it is. So they wouldn't have fought us. We still have 17 ships now. We can really immediately transform these into a fleet because, yeah, of course, that's so bad. That is what they're doing at the start of their turn. So that now they are here. I mean, we are still victorious here. We are still not lost anything, so that's at least a small relief. So we are also still at 14 ships here. But oof, yeah, that's nasty. Good that I caught this, otherwise I really would have felt like cheating. Pretty sure Channing and all the others were screaming at their screen. What are you doing? You need to roll for the evasion check. So now it's their movement, and we have 2 of those. So we have already, that's what they do at the start of their turn. They have moved all their ships into this 1 assault fleet. And this was, I think I think I shouldn't have known that actually. I think if they evade, I believe they evade before they engage us. We shouldn't have known that, so I'm definitely cheating here. But okay, let's roll. And that's a 3. Oh gosh. I think I know what this is. Exactly. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh no. This was the worst result. What are you doing? All ships move as close as possible to the center hex of their sector. Oh no. I mean, I will still win, I believe. So they're moving in here. This fleet will also move in here, but they are two different fleets and that's totally legal. So they will all move down here to the center hex. I think these were all of their movements. And now again, I believe we have to make that evasion check for them. I think so. I'm relative, even though they are basically moving towards us, the rules still say they might escape. Maybe you can simulate this. Oh, I didn't know that you had that many ships or whatever. Bear with me. I think we are still making that roll. And indeed, we are not revealing the fleets and the counters just yet. I mean, we know what the counters are, but we don't know what this fleet here is. So let's make that evasion check again. 1, 2, 3. They are evading, and they do. This is a little bit weird now because they were coming after us, but yeah, again, that's basically some erratic choices here. And I think again, we are looking at the entire hex again. So let's roll. So they're all moving up here into that sector. So they're definitely a threat. They are, but I haven't lost any ships yet. So maybe I need to consider building more ships this round, actually. What could they do with their last round, actually? We don't really know what's happening in respect to new spawning during their growth phase, but something I need to consider. But yeah, now we are moving actually into the growth phase, so I definitely want to take over this barren world here with a colonize action. I have my last free colonize action. That's really cool, so we can take this world over. As I really do need, and I think I need to research, and I do need to research spirituality. Otherwise I would not score the points. Yes, I could go for propulsion, but I think this is still a risk, so let's go for spirituality. And then are we going to grow, or are we simply saying we are okay? I'm relatively certain we are still outnumbering the folks up there, even if they would come to us, and I have still one more ship available. So maybe we are going for a growth action. I mean, these are the victory points. Okay, then let's roll the die for the genetic farmers. So let's see, and that's a 4. Of course it's a 4 for them. I'm relatively certain I know what this is. And I think we are rolling both now for them. Yeah, we rolled them both. These are the slavers, so we have some knowledge. And this is a 6 for the slavers. What are they doing on a 6 actually? Gain a neutral star. Otherwise, one of yours. Research randomly selected technology. Okay, we do that right now. So we are rolling, I think it's from 1 to 5. So we can roll, I don't know, let's roll the 6-sider. Let's keep things simple and simply roll off. That's a 4, and I think 1, 2, 3, 4, that's their robotics again. Are you kidding me? So they're moving to 10. Okay, but then I think there is more. The problem is they will not be able to gain a planet right now because no, they are not adjacent or at a space with a planet. In this case, we are removing 1 disk from their population check if they don't hit any star, unless the action was cancelled by the reacher. No, that's not the case. And yeah, again, these folks are going for the robotics one again. Okay, that's interesting. That's really interesting. But I think let's deal with the genetic farmers first. They will research their robotics. Moving over here. So we could again trade with them actually. I think we might consider that. Then it's us. We will take our freebie here. So we are taking this away. We are forming another colony here on Lyra. Could be a homeworld, and we are immediately researching spirituality. So we can peak once per turn, once per round. So we might be able to use that. The problem is it cost me now at least 1 more victory point because, yeah, I will come to that, but I think that's still okay. That's still okay. So this was our freebie. Then I guess we are going to research right away. So we're moving over here, and now we are definitely by far in the lead, and we will score some points for that. So that's nice. And then last but not least, we are doing our growth action. So these planets have a growth limit of 2 now, unfortunately. And similarly for this is the growth limit here. So it can't grow beyond 6 because it's only 2 hexes away from the next inhabited world. But I think that's still okay. The problem is all the others are suffering from the same fate actually. They can't grow any further. Still, we get 2 bonus growth discs. So let's take them off here. So now we are already at 36 points on our population track, which definitely isn't bad. And I do think I want to play it safe. I don't want to lose those discs, so I will park them down here. Alpha Centauri and Aldebaran. So both of those worlds would give me an extra growth action. And that's maybe one thing I forgot. Oh, maybe I should have spent the 3 points. But I'm not taking it back as I have rolled the dice for our opponents here. So maybe I should have spent the 3 victory points to maybe go for more ships. But I think right now I'm still okay. Let's not go too crazy. I think that's still okay. So we have taken care of all of our growth actions here. And I'm really happy that we were able to leverage our progenitors at full capacity. So we were able to fully use all 4 of their bonus colonize actions. Definitely great. Then it's the slavers. They have researched robotics. I think it was robotics, right? They rolled a 4. Yeah, indeed, that was the 4 here. They rolled this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So they would gain plus 10 ships. The thing is, they're not going to spawn more ships this round. They would now colonize. They can't because they're not at a system right now, at a solar system. So in this case, they will simply take one of their discs, moving it to the slavers off-board power, which now means they will never accept any peace treaties as of this point in time. But I think we were kind of lucky again. I was actually really quite scared about this space here. If this would have cost me 5 victory points each time they would have placed a disc there. So I think overall I was maybe extremely lucky in respect to all of those die rolls for the slavers. Yeah. I think I was okay. Then we are moving into the trade phase. I can trade with the genetic farmers and I want to. So we are rolling. I think I'm still ahead in military and I'm ahead in spirituality. So let's see what they roll. So 1, 2, 3, 4 to 6. They will go for military and I will increase my robotics by 1 as well. And now I can also build ships at own stars with 3+ population instead of 4+. So this can be really massive actually. And maybe that's even more important when you play a multiplayer game. So I'm really looking forward to whatever play this with 4-player, for example, or maybe even 5 players. Nice. So this was our trade. Last but not least, we are scoring. So we get 1 point because we are an STO character. Awesome. And then, yes, we have researched spirituality, and yes, we are in the lead, basically 2 versus 0. We are on level 3, so we get now 7 minus 3 actually. So that's basically where I told you I lost 1 point by taking this freebie, but still it secures me that I will be able to score this no matter what. So I think that's definitely good. And again, in this case, that's 4 points, which I certainly take. 1, 2, 3, 4, making it to 13 all together. Still very far away from the 70 points in total. But yeah, it's my first game, right? So I think that's the end of this round. We are moving into the final era of light, the final round of the game. Let's do the movement roll for the genetic farmers, and that's a 5. Yeah, which says each ship moves its full range in a random direction. Again, we are starting with this ship here, and that's a 3. And we said 1, 2, 3. So they're moving down here, basically to the edge. And I think there is a rule, if they wouldn't be allowed to move any one step, I think we would re-roll or so. Don't quite remember. And I will check when we get there. Then it's this ship down here. That's a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. I think they can move 4 spaces indeed. So if we want to trade with them this round, and this is something that we need to consider, I really have to send a fleet down here or a ship down here in order to meet with them. And I think just in case, I may want to consider that. But then it is us actually, and I'm now unsure if I want to take them out or not. The thing is, I do have 2 peaks now from my spirituality increase, and I can look at basically fleet counters, or I think, or it's a total fleet, need to really check that, and I can look at other stars. I need to be farther advanced than the opponent that I'm looking at, but right now they're both at that level 1 or level 0, wherever we want to put it. So I can definitely peek under everything. So I think we already know that this is their assault fleet. And I think we shouldn't have known that actually. But I will not take it back because I think it's beneficial for them. So I will use one of my peaks to look underneath this one here. And yes, of course, it's the counter assault fleet. Wow, which gives their ships +2 versus an A fleet. And yes, we have an A fleet, which I was going to send after them. So that's the perfect combination for them. Oh, that changes a lot. So I think we are not going to attack them in this case. Oh boy. And then, yeah, we can have another peek at one of these systems. But again, I'm not going to cheat here because ultimately I shouldn't have known, I believe, that what this ship here is. I think they escaped or evaded me twice. So I'm now using my remote view, it's being called, to retrospectively fix that piece. So now I know it's a C and an A fleet. So I'm not going to cheat. I think it doesn't really matter too much. I still have one more movement left. So I will move. Oh no. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I can do that. That's still fine. I can peek under this one here and have no clue what this relic is. This seems to be a planetary death ray. During the movement of the move combat phase, the player owning this star may destroy 1 ship or population disk of a player they are at war with within a distance of 3 hexes to this star. Wow, that's so mean. But unfortunately, it's coming at least 1 round too late. But okay. It is what it is. The main thing, this could be 3 more discs if I'm going to survive. The question now really is, what am I going to do with this fleet? This up here could be worth more than this one here. And there is a likelihood that they will go after this one here. And again, this could be 3, and I don't want that the planetary death ray falls into their hands. So I think I will move this one up here. I will put this ship into this fleet here as well. So I need another one. I still don't think that this is enough, but I still think it's the better position right now. So that's our move. We are leaving this colony basically somewhat undefended. But again, we don't know if they're going after us or not. And I think with that, no, we are not concluding. I think I want to send one of these ships here exactly. Oh, is it enough? 1, 2, 3. It's just enough. So we are bringing this one down. I can't find my 4 marker now. So this is now a fleet of 4. My dart fleet. I will leave it here. And 1 ship is moving down here to potentially trade with the genetic farmers later. So that was my movement. We have dealt with the genetic farmer. So last but not least, it's the slavers. And I'm really curious now what they're doing. Oh gosh. That's the worst result. Or is it? If at peace, no. All ships then move to the nearest one of your stars. The nearest one is this one. And again, we are doing this hex by hex. So we are moving an entire hex into the nearest star, which is clearly this one here. So they could take it over. Really depends now a little bit on what it is they're doing during their growth phase. No, I think it was not that bad. We could lose those 2 discs. Yeah, but these 2 discs are 4 points right now to us. So yeah, not nothing, but I still think it was worth it that I have moved these fleets up here. Down here it would have been an unnecessary battle because then they would have destroyed my ships and taken. But again, I don't need the ships anymore. Movement and combat is now basically done for this game. No, I think that wouldn't have made a big difference actually. Maybe I should have actually simply go after them, have them maybe even destroy my fleet. This would have driven them down. Yeah, I think this would have been the better play actually, because then they would have also lost a lot of their ships actually, and then maybe they wouldn't have been so frightening. But okay, live and learn, I say. And then we are moving into the growth phase actually. So we definitely take over another system, right? Procyon. This is 3 more discs, maybe 1 net, depending on what it is they are going to do. Then I think we have to grow for sure, because this, okay, this is not something. let's think this through. Is a growth action, that's 2 more discs, right? And 2 more discs is 4 points versus 3 points that we are paying. Yeah, I think that's still okay. Then of course we are going to research, and again I'm going to research spirituality just to make sure we are getting this, because again, if we are researching propulsion and the slavers are also researching propulsion, I'm not getting any points out of this. So this way we are making sure. But now I'm taking 3 growth actions, so in this case I have to spend 1, 2, 3 destiny points in order to do that. I have more level 5 worlds out there. I could do that 2 more times, but I don't think that this is worth it. No, we are not getting anything out of this, unfortunately. Yeah, okay, let's roll for the genetic farmers, and that's a 5. I need to check that actually. And where is the other die? Down here. That's the roll for the slavers. That's a 2. The 5 for genetics. Yeah, that's a little bit too... No, it doesn't help us in any way. No, it doesn't help us. And they rolled a 2. Change turn order down. They're already at the last place. And then gain a star owned by you. Oh yeah, they do that actually. They will take over my star Lyra here. So this is now, I think, the first time they're really messing with our plans and with our score. Yeah, we are simply losing those. That's kind of a bummer. But yeah, nothing I can change right now. No, unfortunately not. Let's quickly deal with the research of the genetic farmers. Yep, they're moving their genetics up. They're not so genetic after all, it seems. So then it's us, right? So we are taking over this world here. We are moving 3 discs out, which is great, of course. The problem is, yeah, we will get some discs right back. So this was this one done. It's still 3 discs. I take it. Then I guess let's simply do our research. And again, we research spirituality just to make sure. Last but not least, we are growing. The problem is there is nothing to grow naturally. Even this one here, and I'm relatively certain I had to grow that. Not sure if this is a May or so, but doesn't really matter. I will lose it anyway. So I will simply bring out my 2 bonus discs, which I get from my genetics upgrade. And again, it doesn't really matter. Let's bring them down here. Bernard Star and Wolf 424. Right, so those were all of my research actions. So that's that. And then we are moving over to the slavers. We have already dealt with their turn order, so they will take over my world here. So this goes back to my population track. Unfortunately, that's really a bummer. And if I would have researched 2 more steps in my spirituality, those folks would have simply ascended. So they wouldn't have gone back to my population track. They are simply still around there somewhere, so I wouldn't have lost the points. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. And of course, they are placing, I think, one of their discs onto Lyra in this case. But again, for them, they're not worrying about points whatsoever. They're simply here to annoy us. I believe those were all of the growth actions done. Right, now we can trade. And the problem is, I can trade, but I think it doesn't really help me. If, for example, they would have researched their military 1 step, then I would have also traded with them to gain my military level up, simply because of my special scientific domination card here. But in this case, I think we don't need to worry about that. So we are now basically coming to the end of the game. So I will now score my card. I can also do that. I will have to go for the B side of things, which says we are getting our max technology, and this is, I think, level 4. Doesn't matter which one, but this gives us 4 more points. Then we are doing still the end of round stuff. We are still an STO player, service to others, and yes, we have researched spirituality. We are also still in the lead here, so it's 7 minus 4, 3 more points from this galactic journey. 1, 2, and 3, and then we are doing some end of game scoring, and I think this is where I may have messed things up a little bit. Not rules-wise, but really from a strategic perspective, because you're also scoring 4 points for each of the sectors where you have the majority of ships. And this is clearly them here. And that we are not going for combat strength or whatnot, simply counting the amount of ships. So maybe going after them and hoping to destroy them as much as possible would have gained me something here. So I'm not scoring 4 points here, but I believe down there I should be good. So I have at least 5 ships versus 2 ships here, which gives us an additional 1, 2, 3, 4 points. And then we are simply adding the 42 points from our population track, which brings us to, I think, 64 points in total. So we are getting this, but yeah, we just didn't do it. Yeah, we are basically down to a measly lunar civilization, that is. Next one would have been planetary. This was my goal, but I really didn't think a lot of things through. So maybe during this era of darkness, I should have changed my alignment. Maybe at the start of it. This would have been 3 more points. But then, of course, I need an action basically to switch my alignment. But then I would have gained... I don't know, would I really have gained some more points? I mean, I was at war. I could have declared war against the genetic farmers. This would have given me some points. I think I could have relatively easily taken them out, but then I couldn't have traded. So I'm not sure if I would have gained an awful lot of points out of this. Maybe 2-3 points net, but still, that's 2-3 points. I mean, we are relatively close. We didn't play with the galactic goal, but galactic goals also would have made things more difficult. So basically I would have shifted 1 row up in my score ranking table. So I'm not sure if that would have actually helped me. The 4 points I was losing here, not having the most ships, yeah, I don't know if that's a problem or not. Maybe I should have simply constructed ships actually. Maybe that would have given me 1 more point actually, instead of taking over a world or so. Yeah, actually I should have done that. I should have spent 3 more points, developed some more ships, and then I think I might have been in the lead in there, so I would still gain 1 more point for this piece up there. And yeah, ultimately also, yeah, that's what I'm not thinking through. During the era of darkness, if I would have switched to the dark side STS player, I would have been able to also take over these civilizations here much easier, and this would have been some more points as well. So yeah, no, I start to see where I went wrong actually. But yeah, I really enjoyed the ride here. Yeah, I'm really wondering what you are thinking about this game. Don't really judge my playing skills here, so let's not do that. Just let me know what you think about this game in solo mode. And I'm really now intrigued giving this one a go in a normal multiplayer setting. And then I'm really basically all in with a galactic goal, for example. Each of the players will have their own civilizations, will have their own domination cards up there. Really looking forward to that. And yeah, that's basically how you play or don't play Galactic Era, the solo mode. Again, appreciate all your comments, especially from you, Channing, that you watched over my playthrough. I'm relatively certain you will catch some more mistakes for the last video and this video here. Again, I will try to leave a comment in the Klingon subtitles. Again, we totally appreciate your input here. And yeah, before I forget, a huge shout out to all of my patrons and channel members out there. Again, really can't tell you how much I appreciate your support. Really do. And yeah, if you want to join me on Patreon, there is a link. You can join me here on YouTube. You can click that little thanks button, like and subscribe, all that cool stuff. Leave a comment. This also greatly helps the channel to grow. And yeah, with that being said, hope to see you soon in one of my other videos. And until then, bye bye.